Scott, I just wondered what the reflections are on Wednesday night.
Yeah, just a disappointing night all round. I think we never really got going in the first half, and at half time the game kind of got away with us. And we felt as if if we can get a goal, we can change it, and it just wasn't to be. So disappointing night, but we move on.
Do you think from now, certainly up until the next Celtic game, Rangers need to be pretty much perfect in terms of zero margin for error and dropping points?
Well, that's always a challenge when you play for Rangers anyway. I don't think that changes. But obviously with the deficit that we had, and now we've not got that, we need to get back to winning games. Winning games is the most important thing. Performance sort of comes second, especially when you're on a run like this. We need to get that. If the two marry together, then it's a perfect storm. So hopefully we can get back to winning games and take confidence from it.
Morning, Scott. It looked like Rangers struggled to cope with the intensity of Celtic, particularly in the first half on Wednesday. Can you pinpoint what might have gone wrong either with the game plan or the execution of that game plan?
No, it was just a number of things. I think the rotation kind of caused us problems. We knew what to expect at the first kind of 10-15 minutes of the game, and an early goal. They took confidence for that, but as I said, in the second half we can take the positive from that. Never really troubled us in the second half, and as I say, if we got that goal, then the game could have been different.
And Giovanni expressed last week he'd like to keep you on beyond the end of the season when your contract expires. Just keen to hear your thoughts on that, and also can you tell us if those contract discussions have begun?
Yeah, they've begun. Yeah, my agent's talking to the club at the minute. This is a club that I want to be part of for a number of years, and hopefully they can get an agreement quite quickly. I've never said anything different. How happy I am here, how grateful I am to play at this football club. So hopefully that can get sorted as soon as possible.
Thank you. Morning, Scott. The club, since they came back for the winter break, sort of struggled. Points have been dropped. Can you put your finger on what's not quite clicking at the moment?
Nah, not really. To be honest with you, I think this is we've lost 2 games this season, and we don't want to lose any more. I think if we win all our games, then obviously we're in a better situation. We will be. But there's plenty of games to go. There's 14 games left of this season. There's a lot of football to be played. So. It was a bad night for everybody, no doubt about that. We can't sugarcoat that, but we move on as quickly as possible. A massive game Sunday.
Yeah, and wanted to ask the deadline day signing of Aaron Ramsey. Scott, you came up against him a few times down south. What sort of player are Rangers getting in the side for the remainder of the campaign?
Oh, terrific player. When I played against him, it caused you enormous problems. He was one of the main players at Arsenal that you need to do your research on. You know that he was going to cause you problems and create that opportunity or score that goal from midfield. So terrific player. He's come in, trained a couple of times here. You can see his quality straight away, and his CV kind of speaks for itself at the clubs that he's played for, and the personnel that he's played with in terms of the calibre of player. So he'll help us enormously. Hopefully he gets us fit as soon as possible and helps us on the pitch.
Just to go back to what you mentioned earlier about your own chance just before half time. Do you think that could have made a real change in the game, or do you think the game was already gone by then?
No, of course it would have. Of course it would have. That's goals change games in any game that you play in. So if you manage to get that under control and you manage to score the goal, of course the game changes. It's every game that we go into here, we think we can win. That was one that got away from us on Wednesday night, but like you've always got opportunities to put that right, and Sunday's a massive games for us. We need to react in the right way, stick together, and go and get that result that everybody needs.
After a game like that, a performance, how have you handled it? Have you watched the game back again in full, or is it one of these things you have to put it down to it was a bad day at the office?
No, you reflect on every game. Of course you do. You do your research pre and post game. I think if you don't do that, you won't move forward collectively and individually. So, of course, I think every player would have watched it back, and you don't forget that feeling walking off the pitch with that disappointment, and that needs to be your fuel to your fire going on for the remaining 14 games.